These are some examples for factoring by grouping, or factoring when we have 4 terms. So first example we're going to look at is x to the third plus 2x squared plus x plus 2. So now we have 4. First thing we always check for when we're factoring is greatest common factor. None of these do have a greatest common factor. They don't have any number that all 4 of them have in common. So same as we've been doing in the other parts. First thing I'm going to do is go to making our box. And these are kind of nice because as I see, I have 4 spots on my box and I have 4 terms. So all we have to do is fill in the box, each with one thing. We start in the top left and just kind of go in order. So we'll go x cubed here, 2x squared, x, and 2. And then like we've seen with everything else, our next step then is to fill in on the outside of the box. So I need 2 things that multiply to x cubed, so a little different here. So we have x squared times x will give me x cubed, and then kind of playing with where we want to put that. So I'm going to put the x squared here and the x here. All right, now I'll look to build out. All right, so x squared times something gives me that 2x squared in the upper right. It's going to need to be a 2. And then in the lower left, x times something gives me x. Well, it's going to need to be a 1. And 1 times 2 is indeed 2. So my 2 factors here, we have x squared plus 1 and x plus 2. Okay? All right, here's example number 2. X to the third minus 7x squared minus 16x plus 112. Okay, so again, first thing I'm going to do is make the box. All right, and then go in order. I'm going to put x cubed here, negative 7x squared here, negative 16x, and 112. Question that usually comes up on these is, does it matter where I put the things in the box? And there is some flexibility to where you put the different things inside the box, but it isn't just like, oh, put them anywhere you want, okay? So it's usually easiest to just kind of go in this order, start in the top left with the first term or the highest degree term, and then just kind of work your way down. Things tend to work out nicely when we go to factor at that point, okay? All right, now I'm looking to fill in the outside. Again, I'm going to need an x squared and an x for this first one. I can see my x squared needs to go here and my x here. All right, then continue to go. Okay, so x squared times something gives me negative 7x squared. So that is a negative 7. And then x times something gives me negative 16x. Well, that is negative 16. Okay, and then I'd want to verify that negative 16 times negative 7 is indeed 112. So we could plug that into our calculator and check. Sure enough, it checks out. So my 2 pieces here, we have x squared minus 16, and we have x minus 7. Okay, now here's kind of the tricky part on this one. Hopefully this piece, x squared minus 16, kind of, I don't know, triggered some bells or something going off in your head on that one there. Because x squared minus 16 can still be factored further. That is one of our special difference of perfect squares. So if I take just that part, and again, we can use our box. Okay, x squared and minus 16. Now we do have to make the x because I don't have 4. Remember, this is when 0 goes in the top, negative 16 in the bottom. The 2 numbers that multiply to negative 16 and add to 0, 4 and negative 4. So here we go, 4x and negative 4x. All right, now fill in the outside of this. Okay, x and x. We get a 4 and a negative 4. So that piece there becomes x plus 4 and x minus 4. Then don't forget to bring this guy back down, x minus 7. Okay, so when we're factoring, sometimes we're going to have to take multiple steps there to make sure that our problem is factored completely. Okay, if you need to pause, go back, rewatch any of these kind of things, please do so. And if you have any questions, please let me know.